What do you do when you're confronted by that elephant in the room? One of your team members, one of your own researchers, one of your investigators has been fraudulent about what they've found. So it could be just embellishment of something that's going on, or it could be outright trickery. I'm sure that in every team you'll come across this, somebody who wants this to be so real that they'll go to any lengths to create an event or to make something out of nothing. Sadly for us, it was one of those things that is one of the reasons we've been offline for about 11 years. A very, very good friend of mine, my surfboard shaper, one of my best friends, somebody who was really pushing us into new directions, committed a couple of acts that were fraudulent, which basically was creating what appeared to be supernatural events, or manipulating sound, and in one case did it from behind myself and another researcher who was over visiting from America, where we were investigating a spot where there'd been a lot of activity with the yowie, and we found an Aboriginal stone that, when it was brought back to somebody's house, created a lot of malevolent activity. And while we were shooting that and talking about that, he actually did something that intimated that there was something going on that was unexplained. And then this was reported to our blog. So our background was, we had CCAPSG blog, which ran for about 5 years on Blogspot, and there was a lot of content there, and it was really well received. But in the end, I had to basically stand my best friend down because of his fraudulent behaviour. And unfortunately for him, he pursued this so hard. He pursued this activity so hard that it became like a sideshow, a circus, a freak show. Anything that was happening, and there was a lot of activity in some houses and things like that, anything that was happening, he wanted to be there for the sake of being there. And when you look at this from a ministry and a Christian perspective, yeah, it's dangerous too. You've got to be really careful when you've got things that are malevolent. So, I know I haven't made it easy to comment on our posts, but I'm just raising it. What do you do when somebody on your team, it could even be your team leader, is fraudulent? What do you do when they embellish the truth? What do you do when they exaggerate stuff? What do you do when someone on your team says something that you have doubts happened, or takes information that you go, that's just a normal event that can be easily explained by science, or it can be explained in other ways, and they try and push it forward for the sake of viewership, for the sake of sensationalism? How do you handle that? I think it's a problem. I think it's a problem in the communities. Most people are upright and most people are truthful, but as we talked about in our last post, where you've got something that becomes your identity, or there's an element of sort of narcissistic behaviour in it, it can end up that we lie. We can end up that we actually lie to the public, we can lie to other researchers. And in this case, I never got to apologise to the person who was from a big TV show overseas, who was with us, that this thing that was done right in front of us, well, we didn't know where it was emanating from, was fraudulently done by someone in our own team. Anyway, it's just I don't want to sound like a naysayer that's always bringing up issues in the community, but I just wanted to raise that one. God bless, and enjoy your weekend.